I was just finishing class. I'm sorry, I had a couple questions coming in. How are
Oh,
you?
I literally just hopped on myself. I am good. How are you?
I'm so good. Had a full day of teaching, had a full day of administrative work. So it's just wonderful to be in studio, especially with COVID and everything. So
I
it's
bet
so
it.
great.
Well,
Can
it's
you hear me okay?
yes, I can. Can
Okay,
you?
wonderful. I can as well. Let me just move the screen down. Hi, everyone that's viewing in and listening.
Yes, hello. So I just want to start off by welcoming everyone. So I am very blessed tonight to have Arielle'Rose Medina joining us to kick off this Black Women in Medicine, Health and Wellness IG Live series. So we organized this to just shine the light on some amazing colleagues that we have in the community who are Black, female identifying individuals. And so, Arielle, thank you so much for.
Absolutely. I'm so happy. Thank you for having me.
So I'm just going to quickly introduce you and then ask you some questions so everyone can get to know you better.
Wonderful.
So Arielle and I know each other from Mind Your Body. And Arielle, actually, I just learned this from what you sent to me. You're from Long Island. I didn't know.
Yeah, from Long Island. Long
Where are you
Island
from?
house. From Hempstead. From
Okay.
Hempstead. Yeah. So I was a Long Island girl, and I stayed in Long Island even through college.
Good. So Arielle graduated from Adelphi University. You were there for dance, and then you actually went to Italy for a few years, and you were dancing in
Yes, with the
a.
World Dance Movement. Yeah, World Dance Movement. I danced with them. My dance career did take an end, and because of that, I just changed gears a little bit, and that's where Pilates came in handy.
So you have trained with Gail at Mind Your Body in Upper East Side, but you started initially on the administrative side, and you were
Yeah.
able to just observe and see the Pilates world and Pilates teaching and learn from Gail, which is a wonderful opportunity in and of itself.
Yeah.
So,
So what exactly with that being said, I mean, I think it was so great because I came in administratively and I was already able to grab the attention of the clients and establish the trust from the clients. So it was just really nice to get a one-on-one view of having to watch clients and their clients and their student and their instructors, and also having classes. It sparked my imagination, it sparked my mind, and I wanted to get into what this movement was. All the testimonials we heard from all the clients, it starts to become a part of you, even as administrator, and so I just wanted to grab a hold of this movement, and finally I have. It's great.
so were you doing Pilates prior to?
Not once. In college, I was shown Pilates mats for the last year of my college. The only time I've ever heard of Pilates was in college. Never before that. Never anything between that. And I'm a mover and I can't stay still. So movement for me, the Pilates mat at first, not knowing the origin, not knowing anything, I really just didn't like the movement at first. It was too slow, it was too drawing. I didn't really care for it. I wanted to move. I was a modern dancer. I just wanted to move and flow. But yeah, so I in college I was introduced to it, and then after that I took a huge hiatus to it, and after maybe 10 years I got right back in because of Gail and her studio.
Amazing. So before Pilates, in the dance scene, growing up, even at college and university, what was the representation like there?
Honestly,
Yeah.
diverse. Very diverse. And that's what's so interesting, I think, about me a little bit, because I was grown into a diverse community. My dance studio was diverse, my college was diverse, all of my schooling was diverse. So I was able to see multiple faces, multiple body types,
Beautiful.
multiple angles of women and men that were able to excel in this movement called dance. And it really, and the instructors and the dance teachers that I had really honed into your body, what you have, what you can give, what you can extend. And then you build on it, because we know that flexibility builds. So it's just, for me, it was diverse from the beginning. So that's what I saw my whole upbringing.
Well, that's beautiful. So you had a community, and you.
Yeah, I had a community, I had family, I had friends. all under different umbrellas, all under different walks of life, ages, creeds, you know, black, white, Asian, you know, any type. I've had it all and I've been around it all. So it just made me comfortable always being around any person, always. I think anybody watching that knows me can attest to that.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's really beautiful. And what do you feel like now in the Pilates community? Do you feel like it's the same?
I well, COVID opened up a lot, I think. It opened up, if I can say this, it opened up, I think, a Pandora's box a little bit.
Okay.
And it started to, I think, separate community that was meant to stay together.
Mm.
Sorry. I think, you know, and because of that, and because of social media, I finally took to social media in Pilates. I never did it with Pilates. I only did it as, you know, a regular girl, like a regular person. But seeing that there's a little bit of a separation, I do understand it. But for someone like me coming into a studio as administrative, I was able to take free classes because of it. I was able to learn this movement and on a different way because I was already in administratively to kind of already facilitate movement within the studio. And, you know, Gail during the COVID time had a mat training virtually. And it was diverse. It was, you know, we had Israeli girls in there, we had Russian, we had Greek, we had African American, you know. It was about 9 women, but we were all different ages, all different jobs and things like that. So it was really nice. But I do think it's taken a little bit of a twist. Do I know about it to expand? I don't really know. Because for me, it's always been a step forward here at Mind Your Body. Gail has always been able to provide me an open door in anywhere I wanted to go. And so that's what was beautiful for my take on to becoming a Pilates instructor.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
What an amazing environment to be in. It sounds like super diverse. And as far for you, being Afro-Latina as well, yeah.
Puerto Rican, hey Dad.
So how is that experience unique?
You know, what's interesting is that my body is not like everybody, and I think everyone can say that for themselves, right? And when I first started, you know, I have the lordotic back, you know, I have bigger hips, I have a little bit of a bigger butt, you know, I don't have bigger, you know, top, but I have a bigger body. And so what happened is I didn't know if I was going to be separated because of that. I didn't know if because I had my clothes fit a little differently, I didn't know if it was going to be more of a shun than an acceptance. And no, working with an instructor in a studio like Gail Giovanella and her instructors at Mind Your Body, it was never a judgment. It was always, what can I work with your body? How can I work your body? Because like I was saying in the beginning, your flex, your length, your body awareness, your postural alignment starts to happen differently as you keep your practice. You have to keep the practice. And so Gail stayed a fine-tooth comb. I know you're watching this, Gail. Had a fine-tooth comb on me and made sure that not because of my body was different, it's just that my full body has to align correctly. And she took my body and really showed me how to align it better in my body, not trying to be like anyone else. So that's what I think was different. And that's what I think maybe people that have wider hips or bigger butts or lordotic back or bigger chests, they start to think, oh my goodness, can I do this movement? All you got to do is start. You got to start. Let the instructors facilitate a calm space and a stress relieving space for you to feel comfortable and for you to feel yourself so you can move at your 100% capacity. And that's what you get here. And that's what I feel like I get here in the studio every time I work.
That's powerful.
It is. It's really great. I mean, just to segue really quickly, I mean, somebody who's owned the studio, Gail Giovanella, has owned her buildings for 27 years. Through COVID, never stopped, always kept her employees employed. And just being under somebody like that has a passion for people, is just good, is an amazing in itself. So that's why going back to this topic made me feel wonderful as an Afro-Latina woman because
Mm.
I was never judged here. Gail
Mm.
always strives to be, to be all. This Pilates is for all because it is.
Yeah.
And like I said, that's what I get here every time I show up to work.
I think it's powerful what you said because you're touching on not only the Pilates methodology in and of itself, the contrology, right? Those control
Contrology, exactly.
and really finding that in your own body. And then it's even in the business name, Mind Your Body.
Yeah, and
Mind
that's what's so
Your
great.
Body.
It's literally takes it, and if anybody ever gets to get their hands on Return to Life from Joseph Pilates,
Yeah.
he talks about that this systematic movement is supposed to feel good, and not only your body, your mind. It's supposed to kind of resonate throughout the whole soul.
Body, spirit.
Mind, body, spirit, and not to get religious or anything, because it's not. It's just that these systematic movements were meant for you to feel good and to go with it the rest of your life. No one should have to stop Pilates, and that's what's so great about this movement. You don't start too early in life, but you can take it to the end,
Mm.
and be a better person all around because of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we're touching on the spirit, but you're elevated after you practice Pilates. You
My
just feel it.
goodness. It's so, I'm telling you, I've had clients have called the studio back and said, I can't believe how great my body feels. I can go home and read this book that I didn't want to read.
Yeah.
I can go home and finish this lesson plan that I didn't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I can walk around and feel tall. That's probably the best thing I always hear is the length that you feel in this movement. Once you get off of your apparatuses, or not even once you do mat that doesn't require any apparatuses or props. It's just great movement. I'm just so sad that I didn't learn about it or appreciate it earlier in life.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so Gail just commented that you are the best dresser. And Annette,
Thank you.
I have seen your
Listen,
are gorgeous.
anybody that's listening, Shein is everyone's best friend. Women, men, kids, adults, grandpas.
Mm.
Shein, if you go on, it's the best site. It's affordable, it's cheap, it's good, and that's why I stay best dressed. So thank you, Gail, and thank you, Shein, for my wardrobe all the time.
So, what would you say your vision is for within the Pilates community with, bringing that back together? Because you're saying once COVID hit, there was really like a separation that you felt.
Yeah, there was a separation in just life, right? We just all kind of were at a point where we didn't know what to do. And thinkers like Gail, gave us an outlet, even though we might have been working as much because we didn't lose our jobs. We weren't as working as much, but she consistently fed us an outlet to keep moving, to keep working. And what I think, my vision for Pilates in general, with intertwining, everyone, is maybe getting it in all communities in any way that we can.
Mm-hmm.
Pilates mat is a great way, just like yoga. Grab a mat, bring it in the YMCA's, I know that you can't just say, hey, I'm going to open up a Pilates studio, but getting it in the areas that have no Pilates, that's where we're going to attract more people of diversity to go in. I live in Brooklyn. If I just lived in Brooklyn and had no other studio and came up here, that's an hour each way. And if it's after work, or if I had children, I don't, but if I had children, I do have a dog that that's like my child, but you have to get home to, so I feel like the vision, if we can just come together more and build these spaces for more movement in Pilates, I think that will grow the education more. I mean, we have social media, which has been outstanding, and most people are on social media, and there's that outlet to see, but sometimes all we can do is look. I can look in Brooklyn, but I might not be able to get to that studio, or whatever the case, because I live in Queens, or whatever the case is, especially Long Island. I really don't feel like there's much representation as much as there should be in Pilates, especially in Long Island. So that's what I would like to see. Instead of it being a separation between Pilates community, come together. What can we all do now to broaden the scope, to get it in children, to get it in senior citizens, to get it in everyday life? So that's what I would like to see. Instead of it being a separation, bring it back to a community. That's how we thrive, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
that is a vision that we be alive, hopefully, to see come into fruition.
I hope so. I do hope so.
Yeah, I know that there are many companies that do community-based Pilates classes. I don't know any off the top of my head, but I know that it is something that is available out there.
Yeah.
But so that was all I wanted to chat about. Do you have any final comments or anything you want to share?
Listen, I would like to say that at the end of the day, starting is the hardest part with anything you do. You know, I am no scholar. I'm just a regular girl, you know, that went through different avenues of her life, and I came here as a mover. You know, something my mom always said, I remember one day being with my mom a few years back, and we were listening at something, and someone said, you know, whatever is for you, you can't leave it. But if it's not for you, you can't keep it. And I think for me, movement was always in my life, and I couldn't get away from it. And this is where I found my true self. I've become the best person I am because of my movement. And I didn't take that idea 10 years ago. I didn't run with that idea 15 years ago. You know, now I'm so much more in a better headspace. And now I have a vision for where I want to be in the next 10 years, in the next 20 years, in the next 30 years. Right here. Moving, you know, and hopefully being that cheerleader for anybody that I come across that wants to move, not with me, just wants to move as well. And seeing that after that one session, okay, I can do it again. Okay, I can do it again. Okay, I can do it again.
Yes,
you know? And it's not about the money portion of it. We can figure that out. But get into the studio. Get on your screen at home. Just be open to the idea of moving your body. And I promise you, you won't falter at all. That's my idea.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing your passion.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for sharing your time too.
Thank you.
I want to thank everyone else who's been tuning in to watch this chat, listen to this chat. This is the kickoff of our Black Women in Medicine, Health, and Wellness.
Yes.
So we will be featuring a few other professionals. Next Monday is Valentine's Day, and I will be... Yes, it is. And I will be chatting with one of my dear colleagues who is a pelvic floor physical therapist, Dr. Judy Morrison. She's down in Florida. The following Monday, I'll be chatting with Dr. Peggy Robinson. She's the owner of Cornerstone Healing. She's an acupuncturist. And then we just had to add on amazing guest, Dr. Chanel Kabul Sadafal. She is an adolescent medicine physician at NYU Stone. So we have an amazing
lineup here.
Group. Yes, we do. Arielle, thank you for kicking off.
Absolutely. Thank you, Melanie, for having me. I really appreciate this time. It was great. I was so happy to be a part of it.